Hey, what's up? JD here. I'm about to give my review of the Sonic 3 movie to you all. And yeah, it's I don't think it'll take me that long. I saw it the other day, and let me just say, it's very cool that we're even able to get a 3-part series plus a TV show plus probably more stuff coming down the pipeline just because it's super popular of the boy, the blue burr, Bill Burr. Yeah, dude. I watched it, and I will say this, because I feel like I have like some criticisms, but for me, I thought it was really good. I don't know if it was the best one. I don't know if it was the best of the 3. Also, this is a spoiler, not spoiler, no spoilers. If you want a spoiler one, let me know. I don't think I need to do spoilers in order to give a review, But if you want a spoiler review, I can give you one. But from my perspective, I remember watching it, and in my head, I was like, okay, this is cool. But everything just felt so like ramped up in the sense of action, which is good. Characters, they were, I feel like some characters were just a little, let me preface it with the fact that it's a kid's movie, JD. It's for kids. It's not for me. It's not for me technically. It's for the younger version of me that would have loved it as a kid. And if I was a kid, I think I would have loved it. I think as a grown man, there was some parts that were just a little bit too wacky for me. But then I thought about the last two, and I was like, those movies were wacky too, But something about the storyline in this one didn't hit for me the same. Like, I think if you obviously know the games, you are more than likely aware of how the story's going to go. But, it very much follows kind of like Sonic Adventure 2's type stuff, and there might be a few little Easter eggs from other things. But there, for me, in the like cohesiveness of the storytelling, it felt like it was just all over the place. I might be tripping. As you know, obviously Shadow is the selling point of the movie. For kids who are young and don't know who the Shadow is, they're like, oh man, Sonic's got a twin brother or something, And I feel like this is one of the few times where I feel like the actors needed to be there more. In the last 2 movies, I was like, oh, we don't need the actors, just make it the cinematic characters and whatever you call it, and Jim Carrey. But man, the writing in the movie, no disrespect for me, was just a little like is like topsy-turvy. I was just like, okay, oh, we're going here, okay. And then in order to explain Shadow, they obviously had to do like backstory, not spoiling, but the flashbacks to me were not well executed. And I feel like I'm just complaining about the movie. There's so many other things that were really cool about the movie. I mean, just to start off the beginning, there's very cool moments with Sonic, Tails, Knuckles. There's also very cool moments where when Shadow is revealed, we get some Shadow we get some Shadow nostalgia. When Sonic and Shadow meet each other, obviously it's epic. All the moments, I will say, like all the action moments were spot on. All the moments of like, first encounter with Shadow with Team Sonic, and other things. Eggman's first reveal or whatnot, the Gerald Robotnik of it all, the combo of the 2 of them. All that stuff was fun. I think that it just like missed the mark for me a little bit with the flashback sequences and the way that they executed the storytelling. I did get to the theater within like maybe 2 to 3 minutes of the movie starting, so the beginning I might have missed, and I think it was just like a very simple like family friendly scene between Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. I'd like to know, and this is hopefully not a spoiler, I would like to know if the song Rolling Around the Speed of Sound made into the film. I didn't see that. And I'm not trying to spoil, but that would have made me been like, hey, because obviously there's some other music in there that really stood out that was very cool and nostalgic. But I wonder if they started the film with that. If they didn't, it's okay. But that would have just been a perfect time to set it up, in my opinion. James Marsden was cool. Tika Sumpter was cool. The girl who's from Insecure and Shamar Moore. I'm not spoiled. Do you care about these characters? They made a cameo. It felt like the actors didn't know. Well, it's one of the few times where it's like it felt like they needed more storyline around the actors because it didn't feel like the actors knew what to do in the movie. Like in the last one with the wedding, even though that was like a really long and corny part, it kind of fit into the film. And even prior to that, it was like, James Marsden and Tika Sumpter trying to like be Sonic's, I don't know, godparents or whatever. There was, even though we didn't want it in the last few movies, now noticing how it is when they don't use enough of it, it felt, I don't know how to say it. It felt like it just, how do I say this? Does anybody remember the movie Suicide Squad, right? Okay, the first one that was like dog doo-doo with Will Smith. It felt like it was just it was like a montage of random moments and flashbacks. That's what the storytelling of the Sonic 3 movie felt like to me. It was like action scene, flashback scene, action scene, flashback scene. Random comedy scene, Sonic saying some silly cringe thing for kids to laugh at, which, man, no disrespect, shout out to Ben Schwartz, they had Sonic saying so many weird puns, and I was just like, okay, I was like, they really like ramped that up, but it's for kids, and maybe kids think it's funny, I don't know. I was like, this moment it just made me cringe. I don't know how to be, I love, but it's like Sonic is like a cringy dude. That's like him. Come on, bro. Chili dogs. Like, come on. I'm really not trying to, I think I'm just trying to be like genuinely honest on the feedback. I liked the movie. I definitely liked the movie. I think there were just some parts that I was like, this is silly. I was like, this is too silly. It's like, it was so silly, it was throwing me out. Is what it was doing. It was throwing me out of the enjoyment of the nostalgia that I had when I was a kid. But it's for kids, so let's remember that. I'm not gonna act ignorant to it. And then at a certain point, it wasn't even a Sonic movie. It was just a Jim Carrey movie, baby. It was Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumberer, The Mask, Part 7. And I love Jim Carrey, but I'm not the age that I fell in love with Jim Carrey anymore. So then his scenes started to become way too silly. And and it was like, it was cool, but it was just like, man, I was like, dang, it's been like 3 minutes of this. that's how I was sitting in the theater. And I was just like, I don't know. It felt like there were gaps or holes in the script where they needed to write in stuff to just fill the time. And then they made up for everything in the end. The end was like super epic. It was a fun time. It was what you would expect. I'm not going to spoil it, but just I don't know. Go play the games. And the end was fire. Obviously, they recently, I'm not trying to spoil this, but they announced that they're going to make a 4th movie, and if you obviously stay past the credits, you'll get some little teasers and have some stuff that I'm not trying to spoil. I won't tell you what it is. But yeah, that's like it. I'm not gonna lie though. Out of the 3, I feel like I don't know if it was number 1 or 2. You would think that I like this one more just because Shadow's involved, but Shadow being in it didn't just make it perfect. It was a good addition, but even Shadow kind of at moments felt out of place. I don't know. Maybe it's just that it's hard to tell a full story in that type of way. That's just my personal opinion. All right, that's my thoughts. I don't know if I should rank it. If I'm being honest, it was like a 7.5 out of 10 for me, but I enjoyed it. All right, that's it. Go see it. And if you want spoiler talk, we can do that later. All right, I'm out. Peace. Out.